I didn't know I had a problem until probably like after my first DUI, and I was, with a buddy who I'd grown up with since high school, and we were drinking buddies, and he was like, why can't you just go out and have a couple? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I don't know. I can't just go have a couple.
Welcome to the FocalFlip Podcast. Every week we take a deep dive into the mystery and stigma behind mental health and explore real-life stories of struggle and triumph. We aim to educate and encourage others as we bring together a diverse group of guests. From the streets to sanctuaries, classrooms to boardrooms, mental health does not discriminate, and neither do we. Prepare to laugh, prepare to cry, prepare to be changed. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the FocalFlip Podcast. It's your boy Mike. Today, my guest, my man, Rob Jent. How are you?
I'm great, Mike. Good to see you, brother.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
I know, it's good to have you out.
Yeah, well, straight out of Spillman here.
Straight out of Spillman,
that's
baby.
That's right.
Spillman Road.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And we've been talking about doing this for about a year or so it's good to connect.
I guess it has been about a year, huh? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and talk about that, how we first met. Actually, where did we first meet? Did I meet you at an IBA meeting? Was that where we first met?
I believe so. I believe you came in and joined the IBA, and then you joined the gym shortly after.
Yeah,
I think that's the time frame. Yeah.
So, I met Rob through the IBA, which is the Independence Business Association, which is a mixture of a bunch of different businesses within our community, outside the community as well, that pour into our community.
Yep.
So when I first started FocalFlip, I had reached out to exactly where we're basically based and got plugged in. And the relationship with Rob started right then and there. I know you definitely as a very genuine person, a person of your word over this last year. You've never asked anything from me in return at all. You have helped me tenfold with my FocalFlip stuff.
Well, thank you.
And I and all my viewers know me as a person, study and observe tons of people. I'm an athlete and a competitor. I also got that little warrior mindset.
Yep.
And I started to study you more, man.
That's a case study. Yeah.
Yeah, I started to study you more, and I've gotten to know you over this year. You've become a good friend, man.
Yep, same.
But watching you, how you navigate life, how you navigate your businesses, how you're able to kind of balance your time, and your energy that you're still able to carry, your focus, all that kind of stuff was kind of going, all right, I got to get Rob on here now.
Yeah.
We've got some new things coming. So thank you for always being helpful to me with all this FocalFlip stuff, because it was terrifying.
I love to see good guys win, man, and anything I can do to accommodate that, I'm all in, for sure.
I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I'm super proud of your growth over the last 2 years since I've known you. I know when you first came into the IBA and we gave you a platform to stand up there and talk, and you kind of froze in your tracks. And now to see you talk to individuals, I went to your last seminar that you gave, and man, I'm just super proud of your growth and where you are today. So I just can't wait to see what the next couple of years bring for you, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to keep it running, man. We're going to keep it running.
I have no doubt. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Burn the ships.
Yeah, burn the ships, baby. We're burning the boats, y'all. So yeah, it's been cool. What's been deeply personal for me that I want to thank you for is my fitness, my opportunity to have a space here in Independence.
Yeah.
I joined your gym, and actually it's about a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago.
Yeah, a little longer, right?
Yeah, something like that. Working out on my own. After going through everything I went through, I didn't really even know or remember how to lift or how to work out. And your gym has a special community that you've built there, buddy.
Very unique. Absolutely, man.
It's
very
different.
Fortunate. Yeah, we're very blessed to have that community there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's allowed me to come back every single day to a point where I work out 5 to 6 days a week at your gym. My trainer, I have a trainer now.
Yep.
I'm part of a program. I use a monitor and track my results. And buddy, the results are awesome.
Yeah.
I feel great. That scan we do.
Yep.
I'm
the Evolt scan. It's a deep body scan to kind of give you all your vitals and things like that.
Yeah.
It's a crucial tool to kind of monitor, right? Because if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So that gives you a chance to do that.
100%. My claim to fame right now is I'm 41 years old.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Physiologically, 38.
How about that, man? That is phenomenal.
Let's go.
Phenomenal.
So thank you for all of that. I didn't know any of this stuff. And 1 year later, I'm able to understand what these things are and actually have results from it.
Yeah. And, even with that, I'm proud of you there. Like, we were going to try to do this a couple of days ago, and I had some stuff come up, and I had to go to the gym into my office, and I walked out and I saw you training on the turf that same morning, man. I was like, awesome, man. That made me happy to see you out there. You were doing farmer's carries and you were crushing it. Want to kind of talk about a little bit of a full circle moment, right?
Okay.
You started with us, but you weren't fully committed. You really weren't committed at all, right? So it was a grandiose idea. You shot me a text picture like, yeah, I signed up, I'm ready to go. And then you bottomed out. You dropped off, right? Life gets in the way. And that's where you were. And a full circle moment was, it's been about a year and a half ago. I was at the Reds game with my wife and daughter. And you sent me a text like, hey, man, I want to cancel my program and I'm out. And I was like, okay, fine. I said, but can you do this for me? Can you at least do 8 sessions with a trainer? Do these eight, and let's just see how it goes. And you agreed to do that. And you being you, man of your word, you knocked those 8 out and you've never stopped. You never looked back. So yesterday, my wife and I went to the Reds game. It was an afternoon game. And we're sitting there watching the game, and I get a text from you, and I look down, and you kind of gave me, a little bit of the format of what you want to talk about today. And I was like, wow, that is a wild full circle moment, because the last time you texted me at a Reds game, you wanted to quit. And here we are a year and a half later talking about this experience here on your podcast, man. So that, for me, I was like, that's a complete full circle moment. So
dude,
kudos
that.
to you, brother. Absolutely, man.
That's really cool.
Absolutely,
that's
man.
really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah. And you've really embraced it. And I know FocalFlip, you talk a lot about addiction and that sort of thing. And sometimes you just need to refocus that addiction. And I can see you kind of doing that now with your fitness. And you approach it more of a sport, not as I have to go to the gym. I get to go to the gym. And now you've transitioned your athletic mindset to that. So I just think sky's the limit where you take it from here, man. As long as you keep showing up, it's going to happen.
Oh, God, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's incredible. I talk about this in my episodes about my fitness journey. If I'm not working out, I know it. My body knows it. It manifests itself in specific ways.
Yeah, it does.
And that's been huge. Now I'll commit to it for good.
What it does mental health wise, it's not just about building muscle and the vanity. And, I know that, part of FocalFlip is the mindset and that sort of thing, the mental health. And I don't think there's any substitute for exercise and fitness for your mental health game. I mean, even I can tell if, because sometimes as business owners, we get very busy, right? And the first thing we do is cut taking care of ourselves. Even though I own gyms, that's the first thing I cut is like, okay, I'll skip my workout today because I got to focus on this project or whatever. And if I go 2-3 days without working out, all of a sudden my stress level, my cortisol level just raises, man. So I'm like, I got to get back. I got to get refocused. And by doing it, you don't have to go hard. You don't have to go and try to set any records, but just showing up and putting in the work, it just puts you in a much better mindset, man, for sure.
It's fascinating,
isn't
it?
It really is. The endorphins that happen, and it lowers your cortisol. You just, the adrenaline, it's just, there's no substitute for it, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I went on a deep dive on salt. And the fact that sweat, tears, all of those things, salt heals everything, man. It does.
When you go to the hospital, you have a heart attack or whatever, it's the first thing they do. They hook you up to an IV. Mm-hmm. And not everybody realizes that, but that your body needs it, but they want to tell you that salt's bad for you, it raises your cholesterol, that sort of thing, man. But go to a hospital, they're going to hook you up to an IV, which is basically saline salt water.
Yep. Saline salt water. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yep. It's the same thing as an even balanced flow in life. You're going to have salt come into your body.
Yep.
You want to express stuff, it's going to come out of your body.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. The earth's made in the majority of salt water.
Absolutely.
So
it's all natural, man.
Way to lead into this, Rob. This is awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say this episode is sponsored by Sea Hands Coffee. They're a good friend of mine. Shout out to John and Kelsey Reeder. Love you guys.
This is Sea Hands Coffee. We got you. Rob got you. Good on that. John and Kelsey. What a great couple of humans right there.
They really are.
They're kids too.
They're not set up anywhere today. They're a mobile coffee truck. They're not set up anywhere. So I had to hit this place. So
I know. I love it. John's a great person.
Yes.
Well, let's get into it here, man. I love that start here. Mental health pod. Mm-hmm. So talk to me now. Right now, I do know you as a business owner, multiple business owner, a leader in the Independence Business Association, a president of it actually, multiple, family man as well. So the question from the rip is, how does mental health play in what you do?
God, it's everything.
You said it on exercise a minute ago, right?
You have to exercise. You gotta get those endorphins going. But yeah, I have 4 children. I have 4 grandchildren. My youngest daughter just graduated high school. President of the Business Association. I've got 3 gyms, and trying to be friends and live up to my end of the deal with my my circle of close people. It's a lot, and if I didn't take care of my mental health, I wouldn't be able to do that. Right? It's everything we do. It's just all mindset, and approaching things from a positive manner is crucial. Kind of my personal mantra in life, man, is from Zig Ziglar, who was all about the power of positivity. And I was given not to date myself, but I was given a cassette tape of his talk. It was a book, and his whole presentation was like, you can have everything you want out of life if you help enough other people get what they want. That's my mantra, man. And it transitions to the gym, to being a friend, to being a family person, business owner. It translates. And that doesn't mean transactional. It means just being there for somebody, hearing them out, asking questions, letting them know you care, random text like, hey, man, how you doing today? Showing up. And if you're not in the right headspace yourself, you can't be there for anybody else, right? And that's why if you're on a plane, they tell you if it goes down, you put your mask on first, because you can't help somebody else unless you take care of yourself first. So that's where the mental health is so crucial, man.
Yeah,
you got to take care of yourself first so you can help other people.
It took me so long to learn that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know if you think that's just from our era back then?
Our era, the ego, it's a 3-letter word, but it's one of the biggest things out there is our personal egos and not helping people and just being selfish. And, we talked a little bit about our upbringing and the way you're brought up sometimes makes you selfish. So it's a matter of putting other people first and trying to take care of them. Yeah,
I appreciate you saying that about Zig Ziglar, because that's been my mantra as well.
It's changed my life.
It's been a commitment that I made. I've always been that naturally, I feel like, but I have definitely been that way over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that has just been the most fulfilling feeling in general, without the expectation of anything back.
Yep.
And I appreciate you sharing that, because that's been a huge thing. Because I feel like with time too, it ends up becoming your community.
It does.
It circles back around.
It does.
With time, and it's all love in general. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't see. Do you see a lot of failures with that? People employing that process?
I don't think so, man. I don't think it's a failure at all. It just may not be on your timeline. You may not see it reciprocate right away.
That's a great point.
But once again, God has a plan for all of us. It's not on our timeline. It's on His. Mm-hmm. And you just put your faith in other people. And there will be people that will disappoint you. But all you can do is hope that you planted a seed down the road, that it blossoms into something more beautiful than that, man. Yeah.
Oh, I love the way you think, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sound very similar.
Just beginning, you were talking about how, I helped you with, along a little bit. I don't feel like I helped you that much, but you credited that. But once again, that goes to, I just want to help you get where you want to be. And then in turn, it'll come back tenfold for me. I'm really big on good karma marketing, or good karma in your life and giving back. And in turn, it comes back to you tenfold. I really believe that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's kind of been my mantra now too with FocalFlip. Mm-hmm. When I first started Flip, I was very terrified to ask or say anything about it.
Yep.
To my friend Kyle, and then I said something to him. And he said, "Why don't we have breakfast?" And I kind of pitched these ideas to other people, and there was nothing, really. And then he sat down and said yes, and he freely and willingly helped me. And forever, that'll be something that will never leave.
Right, sure.
My memory, or the way that I choose to moving forward, was just that opportunity and those chances to give that light. So that's kind of what I want to do too, Rob.
Yeah.
I really do.
We can't do this by ourselves. Once again, that ego says we can, but we can't do it by ourselves. You need a good support system. My wife has been huge for me in my growth. She came at the right time in my life and really helped get me on track. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, but she's takes a back seat. She doesn't like to be in the spotlight or anything like that. But it's because of her that I'm where I'm at in life now as well. And even your friends help elevate you. And in turn, it's your responsibility to elevate them.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Preach.
man. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Rob, this is awesome. Well, let's get into this then. Has your mental health always been pretty solid and strong?
No, it was garbage.
Really?
Yeah, it was garbage. Growing up, grew up in a very poor family. Grew up as, a fat kid out of shape, non-athletic, lived in an apartment, got picked on as a kid, because I was fat.
For being heavy?
Being heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, being heavy and just unsure. You don't have the confidence, in growing up. And then I think that led to, I struggled with addiction as well, with alcoholism. And then getting out of that and getting to a better spot. And then just the evolution, and it's all been part of the journey, and I feel like I still got a lot of work to do to get my mental health even where I want it, But I'm in a great spot. I couldn't be more happy where I am in life, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. I'm very thankful for that,
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you ever feel like you're alone given everything that you're doing right now?
Sometimes, and I think that's natural. That's a natural feeling. And once again, going back to the ego and thinking we can do it on our own and think that nobody else understands. And I think that sometimes they don't have to understand, as long as they hear you out and you're verbalizing some things and there's some sort of understanding, that they got your back. You realize you're not alone, man. Sometimes you can talk yourself through it. You just need a sounding board to put that out there. But yeah, I think it's natural that we all go through that valley where we're alone and nobody can help fix us.
Wow.
Yeah. You just have to give people that opportunity to help.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. That's that kind of resistant force that I struggle with. I think that's been the one that's been more often than not throughout my life.
Yeah, sure.
So that's fascinating. I just wanted to ask that question.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to kind of walk us through a little bit of your life, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Actually, hold that. Before that, let's go into this.
Yeah.
Today, with 3 businesses, family, everything that you spoke of before, how do you organize your day with mental health being your priority and when you first start your day? How do you, as Rob Jent today, organize your day and keep your mental health on point, even when fires come up?
Yeah, for sure. The biggest thing is a notebook, man. I mean, I carry this all the time. And I have what's called a GSD. It's a get shit done list, and it's 3 to 5 things that I need to do that day. If something happens that it doesn't get done, it goes to the top of the list for tomorrow. So that's what's going to happen throughout my day. And then I've got to start the day. It takes me about an hour to get moving because I will sit there and drink coffee and just get my thoughts in order. Some people may call it meditation, but it's me kind of visualizing what my day is going to look like and how things are going. So I will wake up early just to sit there and drink coffee for an hour and get my thoughts straight. And I like to wake up before anybody else is awake. So I can do that. There's no distractions. And then I always try to prioritize a workout, right after that and get that done because that is the pace setter for the day, man. That's going to put you in the right headspace. And there may be days you're like, I'll do it this afternoon. And then life happens and you don't. And then you find yourself in that again. And then you compound a couple of days that you just get busy and then you haven't taken care of yourself again. Once again, I said, as a business owner, sometimes you prioritize yourself last and then you're in a bad spot. So I think having that structured day, man. Yeah. And just getting it done. And, my day, it's not a 9 to 5. I'm on the clock all the time, and I've been able to figure out how to maneuver that as a business owner in our business, the gym business. It's not a 9 to 5 job. You're 24 hours. And last night it's 9 o'clock, and I'm setting emails out for the IBA and text messaging, and that's sort of creating the agenda for the meeting. and it's 9 o'clock at night. But that's because I took the afternoon off, enjoyed it with my wife. We went to the Reds game. We had a good time. We, helped us connect.
Yeah.
And it's just prioritizing that. And it's all part of that GSD list that I have every day, man. These are the objectives I need to get done today.
You call it your get shit done list.
Mm-hmm. My GSD list, man. I write at the top every time it says GSD, and then there's a list of, 3 to 5, sometimes 6 items I need to get done that day.
I'm changing the title of my list to GSD now.
Yep.
Homage for you, bro.
Get your get shit done list.
God, I carry a notebook.
Yeah.
I've got all my old ones are over there.
Yeah.
My 365 days getting sober was every single day back there.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
I don't like to journal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Screw journaling.
Yep.
I didn't like reading any of that. Lists.
It's your list, man. It's your list.
I agree with you. I didn't understand the power of lists.
Yeah.
And then if you can prioritize those lists,
Absolutely.
it's unreal.
I once heard somebody say, you ink it, don't think it. You got to put it down on paper, and that makes a huge difference. December 31st every year, I sit with a notebook, and I use the same notebook every year, and I put my yearly goals. I don't do resolutions. I put my goals, right? And goals are dreams with a deadline. So you've got to be more specific what you want to accomplish. You got to put more detail in what your timeline is and to accomplish that. If you don't accomplish it in there, that's okay. You just do it again next year, But your goal, you don't want to let yourself down, and you put it in there. I mean, I own gyms right now, and I will say probably 3 to 5 years I will own a gym, and I had timelines and how I was going to get there in this notebook that I do my yearly goals. And it didn't happen right away. It didn't happen on my timeline, but eventually it did. So it's powerful. When I look back,
You're giving me goosebumps right now, buddy.
before I fill that out, I look back at my last prior years and what did I accomplish, what did I not, and it's super cool to see the things like that you've done come to fruition that you planned on doing that years ago.
You're gonna make me emotional, actually.
So it's my yearly goal setting. Yeah, I do that, and then I give it to my wife and I give it to my daughter, and I say, okay, it's your turn. You write your goals for this year.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like I might be a little mini you, dude. Come on.
You got to ink it, don't think it, right? And like I said, you've got to have timelines set for yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a dream. If I just dreamed of owning a gym, there's no execution plan, right? It's like, what is my timeline? How am I going to get there, right? Wow. What do I need to do? How much do I need to save? That sort of thing to make that happen.
Man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. This is my thought process. Manifestation is real.
It really is.
And if you have the work ethic, the grit, the grind, the one foot in front of the other type thing, when you write down a list and change that from a resolution to a goal, and then chip away at that goal every single year, even if you don't accomplish it, move it to the next year, you're literally creating that ball.
You are.
If you show up every day.
You have to show up. And you have to be willing to sacrifice what it takes to get there. Not everybody is willing to sacrifice that. So it's not just putting it on paper. What am I willing to give up, or what am I willing to do the extra mile or put in the extra time to make that happen? And that's how it works. You just have to sacrifice. And I've had a couple life goals in my life that I wanted to accomplish, and those have all come to fruition, and that's because I'm willing to sacrifice whatever it takes. I mean, even when I opened my first gym, I was still working I had a corporate job, and I was doing both. So I was doing a corporate job during the day at the gym. I had an office in my gym that I was doing my corporate job because I worked for our headquarters.
Yeah.
And then I would work the gym in between my calls and at night. And I didn't take a paycheck out of my business for the first 2 years.
Come on, man.
So it's just, what do you have to do? Like, I sacrificed doing things, going to parties or get-togethers or whatever, and then sacrificed financially, right? And
yes.
but it paid dividends. It's what needed to happen.
Yeah. Good for you. Yeah. It is. It's tons of sacrifice.
It is.
And people don't understand it. That's kind of one of the weird parts for me too, is like, it's a lot of sacrifice. And I feel like I have these knobs. I'm constantly turning them to keep them all balanced. But sacrifice. What a great point.
Yeah. And it's one of those, like, if you're doing that list, don't write it down if you're not willing to sacrifice to make that happen. If you're just dipping your toe in it, don't even write it down. Like, put something down that you can accomplish.
Yeah. Great point. This is a perfect time for you to come on my pod, buddy, because he's preaching to me too. It's like it's actually like this is great stuff for me with where I'm at, what I do in the past, what I do currently, and with what I've kind of slacked off on and some things here as of late.
Yeah.
So the timing of you speaking about that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So let's talk about, man. You said when I opened my first gym, that sacrifice. Holy cow.
Prior to opening my gym, I was running gyms, and I would always have second jobs, right? I was doing security work and concert security work. I was, I drove some executive transportation cars and stuff just to supplement that income, because that was all part of my goal, to make as much money as I could to make our dreams come true, So when somebody comes to me like, hey, I'm not making enough money, well, are you doing everything you need to do to make that happen, right? And sometimes I'm not as sensitive as other people, because I know what it's about. I was willing to do that and make it work. And you've got to be willing to pay the price and sacrifice to make things happen.
Absolutely. So if your goal was to own a gym and you're constantly working in ink it, don't think it, man, I love that.
Yeah.
You're constantly working that and manifesting that and prioritizing and working through your list and using discipline and executing. What was your goal before owning a gym?
Yeah. So I had a goal of being a professional wrestler. So awesome. Growing up, my mom watched it, and we would watch it on Saturday mornings. And, I always said, that's what I want to do. And my family would be like, oh, it's never going to happen. You're not going to be big enough. It's just not going to happen. Right. And that's what prompted me to really kind of get into working out. Like I started exercising, like I mentioned, I grew up and I was super overweight as a kid. And then I had some loss. So my real dad passed away when I was 3 with brain cancer.
Oh, wow.
I had a stepdad who I was not close with at all. But he passed away when I was 11 in December. And then that following January, my mom passed away with a brain aneurysm. So we got kind of shuffled around with some family. And so in 6th grade, I weighed 140 something pounds, so super overweight. And then I moved away, and then I started working out. I started exercising, and then I would run. I would lift, like weights, like those sand weights and that sort of thing. And then fast forward about 2.5 years later, I moved back to the side of town where I grew up to start high school. And I would run into to kids that I went to elementary school with, and they didn't even recognize me. I completely changed myself, completely. So like my freshman year, I wrestled at 126. Well, I was over 140 as a 6th grader. And then I got myself in shape, and I was running a lot and doing a lot of things like that.
Wow.
So, but yeah, and then in school, I just wasn't into school. I just wasn't, I would daydream and think about things, and looking back, it's like I had ADD, but that wasn't a thing when I was a kid. You were just being a bad kid. You weren't paying attention.
Behavior.
Yeah. So looking back, I know that I had it, and I would be a daydreamer and that sort of thing. So I was a good student, but I just wasn't engaged. So barely made it out of high school, and then took a job like in a soft drink factory that I absolutely hated. And but during that whole time, I want to get into pro wrestling. I didn't know how to do it.
You had already started your fitness lifestyle.
I'd already started. Yeah, I was already working out. And
that was your thing.
That was my thing. That was my escape. On the flip side, I was drinking a lot too, so it was kind of counterproductive. But I still had those priorities. And then I went to like a local show here in Cincinnati, and they announced that they had a wrestling school. And I was 24 at the time. And I showed up that next Wednesday, and I started learning how to be a pro wrestler.
What year was this?
That would have been 95.
Right on.
94, 95. Yeah, I do too. They were, in the 80s were even better. But then, so it was like, at that time, my goal was like, I just want to do like one show a month and, just kind of do that. And then that perpetuated where I was doing one show a week, and then it became 2 shows a week. And then people started inviting me, and there was a group of 4 others. They started inviting us to travel across, the area, like to Indianapolis and Louisville and Lexington and that sort of thing. And next thing I know, like I've got offers to travel even more. My job wouldn't permit that. So that's kind of when I got into the gym business. I had one of the guys who I traveled with was in the gym business. And he was like, man, you would do really well doing this. And said I would love to do it, and went and interviewed and was offered a position right away. I took it home to my first wife, like, hey, this is something I want to do. And everything was performance-based. Like, your base pay was very low and everything was performance-based. And she goes, oh, there's no way. What if performance, you don't make any money, we've got all these bills, there's no way you can do it. So I tucked my tail between my legs and I just stayed and kind of wrestled locally on the weekends. And then fast forward, things kept going and I kept getting invited to do more traveling. And at that time I was going through a divorce. I had 3 kids and I was going through a divorce. And that same friend of mine, Chris Harris, he was working at a different gym and he's like, hey, they're hiring, you ought to talk to them. So I went in, I talked to him, was offered a job on the spot. And I was like, yes, I will take it. And I will be here in 2 weeks, and never looked back.
What year was this?
That would have been 96, 97.
Wildcat Chris Harris.
Yep. So we traveled together and best friends. It was me, him, and 3 other guys here from town. And we just started traveling. So I went to the gym business. I started in November. And then fast forward, late December, Chris and I get a call that WCW wanted us to go to the Carolinas and do 3 shows for them. So we had to go to the owners of the gym and be like, hey, I know it's the busiest time of the year. It's January, the first week of January, but we've got these shows we have to do.
What the world?
So we took off, and they graciously allowed us to do that. And we took off, went to the Carolinas, and then it just kept going from there. We kept getting invited to do shows. Sometimes they wouldn't use us, sometimes they would. And then eventually we both transitioned out of the gym business, and we wrestled full time for about 2.5, 3 years.
Wow.
I did. And then in 2001,
I heard you were a wrestler, and I hadn't done a ton of deep dive. I was a big time wrestling fan as a kid. Saturday mornings was all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up, man.
Keep going.
So 2001, Chris and I got invited to WWE. It was WWF then, but it was here at US Bank. It was called First Star Center before US Bank. So we got invited to do that, and it was me, Chris, and one other guy in a 6-man tag here in town. We were the match right before Raw went live. Sold out crowd, 2001, right in the peak of like the Attitude Era. And I had done other big arenas throughout the country for WCW, but coming here in front of a sold out crowd and walking down that ramp, and like I said, we were the match right before Raw went live, and it was sold out. That for me was like, wow. I accomplished. That was a dream that everybody said I couldn't do. It'll never happen. And I sacrificed what I needed to do to make that happen.
That is a really good story.
I sacrificed Christmases, Thanksgivings, because those 2 days of the year were really big wrestling days. So I missed that a lot of times with family. I missed family birthdays. I missed family weddings, because every single weekend, which then ended up being a week, it was at one time we were traveling and wrestling 5 to 6 days a week.
Holy cow.
So you kind of cut your family off and everything to make this dream come true. And you had to be willing to sacrifice whatever it took. Yeah. So fast forward so that was that was summer of 2001.
Okay, 01.
December, Christmas night, 2001, I was wrestling at the arena down in Nashville, and I was in a tag match, and I took a suplex on the concrete, which sounds crazy, but it was something I would do kind of regularly. Like, it wasn't a big deal, but the guy that I wrestled with, we just didn't sync up properly, and he like pulled me over really hard, and I came down on my back, and I just felt something wasn't right. And then over the next few weeks, my back continued to get worse and worse and worse. And over the next couple months, I ended up deciding to retire, because at that time, if you had back surgery, nobody would even consider ever hiring you. Sure. You don't have the science and the technology that you do today, where now you can come back from that. Back then, you couldn't come back from that. So I retired and came back home and didn't know what I wanted to do, because that was what I was determined to do. I was going to be a pro wrestler, and wanted to, eventually get a contract and go on to do some things. So I tried a couple things, and, it just didn't work out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back into the gym business, because I really enjoyed it. I loved it. It was a natural fit for me. So I went back into the gym business, and then it got to the point where I want to own my own gym. That's what I want to do. And I didn't go to college, as I mentioned.
This is such a good story,
I
man.
struggled in high school, barely made it out alive. And so at that point, I identified like I need to figure out what I need to do to learn the business side, right? You can learn how to train people, you can learn how to sell memberships and all that. That stuff's easy. But not knowing anything on the back end, like how does a P&L work? Like how do we figure out what our margins are for things that we sell? How do you manage people? How do you create a schedule? And I was just fortunate enough that I had some good people in my life at different times that I was able to cling on to, and they were able to mentor me and kind of help me along. So I worked for several different gym companies during that time. And I was always able to find somebody that was in a position that I wanted to be in and go to them and like, hey, teach me this. How does this work? What do I need to do this? What do I need to do so I can make X amount? How do I make that happen? And learning. And at that point, I learned the whole back end of the business and how it worked. And I would also go to any seminars, conferences, anywhere that, 5-6 hour drive that I would go to, and I would just sit in the front row because, as I mentioned, never realizing I had ADD. So I would go and I would sit in the very back of these conferences, and I'm watching everybody. Like every time somebody gets up or move, like I can't focus.
For you.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. So then I realized what I need to do. I need to go sit in the front. So I changed that. I pivoted, and every time I would go, I would get there early and I would get a seat in the front row, undivided attention, and I would take notes out the wazoo, and just learn. And I would digest that and learn how to be a better business owner, be a better business manager. How do you work with staff? Like, what's your emotional intelligence? If you have somebody with this situation, how do you handle this? And it just was natural for me. I loved it. The back end business, crunching the numbers, wasn't natural, but it's all about repetition and doing it enough that you make it natural. And then, so I worked for several gym companies, and then I was working for one that they end up selling. And when they sell, they typically eliminate kind of the upper management. So I was like the director of operations over 5 locations. And so they eliminate your the upper management role because they have corporate office that they do that stuff. And then a friend of mine, one of my first mentors, had opened up Anytime Fitness, and he was starting to grow his business. And he was like, hey, they need a franchise coach at the headquarters, and I think you would do really well. So I flew to Minneapolis and was offered a position, and that's how I kind of got my foot in the door with Anytime Fitness. Yep. Yeah. In the meantime, every year, that would have been 2013.
Wow. Golly.
In the meantime, every year I'm writing in my notebook on December 31st, I will own a gym. This is how I'm going to make it happen. And worked for Anytime Fitness as kind of a franchise coach. And then fast forward, I think I was there for maybe 2 years. And then I was at a conference, an Anytime conference in Scottsdale, Arizona. And then a franchisee from Northern Kentucky came to our booth. He had some questions, and I could tell, it wasn't his priority. He had another day job. So this was kind of a side job for him. And I was like, hey man, I live in Northern Kentucky. I can come out and, kind of help you along. I can give you any answers or whatever. And we struck up a friendship, right? So, once again, the only thing you can get what you want out of life is helping if other people get what they want.
Yeah.
But not knowing that in the back, I'm just helping him. I'm giving him advice. This is what I would do. I wouldn't do this. I would do that. And then that was in August. Fast forward to Christmas time. I was in Minneapolis. I was actually at the Mall of America for our Christmas party for Anytime Corporate. And I get a message from him like, hey, do you think a location would do on Independence? And I was like, yeah, that's funny. I've actually thought about maybe doing one in Independence. And he's like, all right, well, get back to me when you're in town and let's talk about it, because I have a territory. So when you have a franchise, you have to buy the rights for your territory. Okay. And he goes, I bought a territory a few years ago that I don't think I'm going to do anything with. So if you're interested, we can partner up and then maybe talk about what that looks like. Got back in town, met him for coffee, or I drank coffee. He drank water. He wasn't a coffee drinker. And he kind of proposed this and let me think about it. And then we decided to partner up. And this would have been 2015. And fast forward to October 2015, we signed a lease to open an Anytime Fitness where we are right now on Declaration Drive.
Okay.
And it's been a whirlwind ever since, man. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
What a cool story.
Right. So that's two of my biggest goals, my biggest dreams, to be a wrestler and own a gym. And I've been able to accomplish both of them. I'm just very fortunate and blessed that I've been able to do that, right? Most people don't even chase one dream.
Yeah.
So,
the more you kept telling me about that, I just kept thinking about the word sacrifice, the more and just in general. So I always try to take something complex and simplify it. And I just kept coming to sacrifice. And that sacrifice is across the board. And when you talk about being first in the front row, studying, educating yourself, showing up, following your list, and manifesting those things into a reality. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
It really is. So I do want to tap in on this because that's an awesome story.
Thank you. Yeah.
Especially when it's call it what it is, but call it the universe, call it God, but it's just so cool how he works.
Yes. Yeah.
To those who work their ass off to do good. And be good.
Right.
But we're not in control of the time that it takes.
And oftentimes we're not in control of what that destination looks like unless we mess that up on the way. I mean, looking back, like I was in high school, I flipped a car. I had two guys in the car with me, and we were going down a windy road, and I pumped the brakes, and we flipped.
Oh no!
None of us came out with a scratch, right? I struggled with alcoholism. There were, my thing is I would black out for entire nights, and I would end up places I didn't know how I got there, right? I could have very easily wrecked and killed myself or whatever.
Yeah.
Then the wrestling, I ended up getting hurt, and I was very bitter at the fact that I got hurt. But like Chris and one of our other buddies, they were able to continue, and then they ended up getting signed by TNA, which was another promotion, about a year later. And I'm like, if I wouldn't have got hurt, I would have been there with those guys, right? But then I look back, and it's like all that stuff happened for a reason, and it wasn't on my timeline. It didn't work out, but I feel that he had a different plan for me, and for me to get into the gym business and help people. Looking back, I have been somehow responsible in some way for thousands of people getting better,
bro.
With opening gyms or working in gyms and hearing people's story and being a shoulder for them to cry on. I talk about hugs and high fives at our gym all the time, man. That's the secret sauce. And looking back, all those people that I had something to do with to help them would have never happened had these other things, had I died in a car crash because I was drinking, or if I would have continued to wrestle and got hurt worse and wasn't able to work at all. So I just look back, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in life, man.
Yeah, it was meant to be just the way it was, just the way it is. That's awesome. The addiction piece and the alcoholism. Yeah. I can relate, Rob. I mean, you know that.
Yeah, for sure.
But boy, now that I know your story, what a cool story. And I know we can say cool now, right? Because when you're blood, sweat, and tears and everything, also while you're struggling, and then your blood, sweat, and tears towards your goal and trying to balance your life, it ain't easy, dude.
No.
Some people will call it luck whenever things happen, and it's not.
It's not. It's when preparation meets opportunity, man. That's what luck is.
When preparation meets opportunity. 100%. Prepare. Study.
Right.
Sacrifice.
Put yourself in the right places. Get in the right rooms. Be where you need to be, man, and be open-minded. Yeah. So when that opportunity presents itself,
lean into those people. Yeah. Learn it.
Yep.
So tell me about. I have to understand this because I've had some success with business, nothing too crazy, but I was a fully functional alcoholic. Boy, my blackouts sucked.
Yeah. It's scary.
I was a fully functional alcoholic, and I didn't know how to kind of express a lot of my stuff. I ended up gaining a ton of weight, and then, of course, losing it all now.
I saw those pictures. You were a completely different person. Yeah.
It was 150 pounds at one point, just to say I could do 150. It wasn't. That's not what I wanted. I needed to be at, but I wanted to do it just to say I did it.
Yep.
But I too, when I was younger, I've always been a kid that people liked and stuff. But when I was younger, I gained weight. And my middle school days, there was a lot of kind of bullying and stuff that went on that people didn't see.
Right.
And that was embedded in my head forever. And
Yeah.
eventually, my addictive nature became full-blown alcoholically reliant on it, right?
Yeah.
So that was scary. And getting sober was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. What was it like for you?
I think the timing, I just knew that I had to do it. I had a couple DUIs and I'd get in trouble and, I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to drink again. And I'd go out with my buddies and by the end of the night, I'm drunk. Right. But it's one of those, I didn't know I had a problem until probably like after my first DUI. And I was, with a buddy who I'd grown up with since high school and we were drinking buddies. And he was like, why can't you just go out and have a couple? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I don't know. I can't just go have a couple. I don't know when that changed because, I was 14 when I started drinking and hated the taste, but I did it because that's what my buddies were doing. That's what they were doing. And the next thing I know, like I'm doing it all the time as a high school kid, like I said, I was 14 and I was doing it to fit in. And then I realized when I got a buzz, my confidence level was much better. I could talk to girls. I was more confident, because kind of growing up, I was still that fat kid in my mind that I shouldn't be having conversations with these people or with girls and that sort of thing. So that took that completely off and it made me comfortable who I am. But then what happened is eventually I didn't even remember who I was because I would black out for the whole night. I would black out and not know where my car was. I would not know how I got where I am, and
so it would lead to blackouts every night.
Yes, I wasn't one that I had to drink every night, but it was 3, 4, 5 nights a week, and I wouldn't drink at home. I had to be out, kind of in a bar or a party scene, the social thing, right? And that's where, and I was Good Time Charlie. Like I was the life of the party when I was drinking, and then I would hear like, "Oh man, you did this," and I was like, "Oh, I don't know," and I could brush it off, but. Looking back at, I think that was also part of the way that I was trying to bury some of the loss and some of the struggle that I had in my younger life
from childhood.
I never mourned. I never got that out. Right, we just bury that. And even looking back, there's parts of my childhood that I don't remember because I think I just blocked that whole chapter out.
That's the thing.
And so I think by drinking, I was able to escape that. I didn't know that at the time, but I really think between being able to kind of deaden the nerve of your childhood and the fact that all of a sudden, man, I'm the life of the party and people like me was pretty cool. But then I lost control.
So did I. Mm-hmm. Did you get sober on your own or did you have to go to like a treatment facility?
Yeah, I had to go to a treatment because like I said, a couple of times I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to drink anymore. And then next time I'm out, I'm drinking again. So then I got busted for another DUI and they're like, okay, you got to go to a 30-day treatment program, the Talbert House up in Cincinnati.
Oh, Talbert House. Okay, yeah.
And that was a low point for me because they process you through the Justice Center downtown. Like you're processed like a regular criminal, right? Yeah, Hamilton County. And you had to go in for 30 days. But prior to that, it was my daughters they'll be 30 here in a couple weeks, July 13th. They were getting ready to turn 1. And it was 11:55 the night before they turned 1, and I'm out with a friend, and I drink a Miller Lite. And it's midnight and I put it down. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I'm not doing it again. And that was the last time I've ever drank. So
that was yours?
That was it. They turned 1 year old at midnight. I put that down. That was it. I'm done. And then I had to go to a 30-day treatment, like a couple of days later in Talbert House.
Yeah.
And they tell you it's 30 days. Well, everybody except, I think there were like 30 something people there. Everybody but 1 or 2 got forced to do another 30 days. Just mandatory. It was like no explanation. Like you need to do this again. And hearing stories of people from AA coming in talking about their stories, and one that just hit me like a ton of bricks was a guy who from AA that talked about he had a little kid, and I had just had my daughters just turned 1. My son was a year and a half, getting ready to turn 2, and he talked about he blacked out or he passed out on his couch, and then found his kid had fallen into a kiddie pool and drowned. Man, and that hit me pretty hard. So that just kind of reinforced like, man, I don't want to go back to that. Right. I need to be a better person for them. And so I got out after 60 days. I was able to get out a little early because my son was getting ready to turn 2. I made friends with one of the police officers, and he actually was able to pull some strings and get me out a couple of days early so I could be home for his birthday.
That's dope.
Luckily, we shared the same last name, so we had a common ground. So
find the similarities, y'all. Find the similarities.
So he pulled some strings, got me out early, and as soon as I got out, I went to an AA meeting. As soon as I got out, before I went home, I went to an AA meeting at a church downtown, and then I got on a bus and went home. And I attended some AA meetings, but then after a while, I'm like, and not everybody can do this. I think I was just ready for a change in my life that I was able to kind of do it on my own, man. And I quit going out with my buddies, and I was still wrestling. I was still traveling, with the guys and wrestling. And, but I stopped going out for a while, and I realized I was feeling resentment because I couldn't go out and hang with those guys.
Oh my gosh, I've been there. Keep going.
So then I'd start to go out with those guys, and what I realized is I needed a cup in my hand. It sounds so stupid, but hanging out at a bar talking, I just needed a cup. So I would put orange juice in a cup, so nobody would give me crap about not drinking alcohol. Everybody just thinks it's alcohol. But I realized as long as I had that, I felt social. And because I talk with my hands a lot too. So I just had that cup there. And I realized that was what I needed. That was like my training wheels to start going out. And then, as I mentioned, I was still wrestling. And my buddies, Chris Harris and Chris Justice, Chris Park, and Greg Harris and Chris Kidd, and we were all traveling together. We would be at bars, and they would come up and they would take my cup and they would smell it. They really wouldn't have cared if I would have drank, but it was their way to show me like, hey, we got your back. We're just checking on you.
Hey,
we got your back,
Let's go.
So
what a solid group.
Yeah. So it was like, that was their way to support me.
Those are real ones, man.
They are, and I realized that was the secret. I could go out, and I just needed that cup in my hand, and I was good and never looked back. So here in a couple of weeks will be 29 years since I had my last drink.
Wow. That's incredible, man.
And,
congratulations.
And it's like one of those things I wouldn't be where I'm at. But once again, it was God's plan for me, not my plan.
You had to go through it.
Mm-hmm. Had to go through it.
So we can sit here and talk about it on something like this. Mm-hmm. Hopefully encourage and help just one.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you save one life, man. It's worth sharing your story.
I'm so big on that theory of multiplication. Mm-hmm. And when you walk around just being good, seeing good, doing good, my goodness.
Yeah.
But wow, what a story. I was the same way too with the alcohol. When I got out of treatment, I went straight to AA meeting.
Did you?
Yeah. And then as soon as I slipped into my thoughts, I had to go to multiple ones a day.
Really?
Yeah.
But you identified that. That's key.
I knew it.
Yeah.
And that's when I started tracking things again. Mm-hmm. That's when the old numbers Mike came back and the old competitive athlete came out. Was, all right, I know this is what it's going to take.
Yep.
I'm going to have to show up here 3 times a day for this first week because I could not be alone with my thoughts.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's kind of what started the entire unraveling for me of the inner work.
Yeah.
You know, and my goodness, like once you do, like it's amazing what you accomplish from that, just from a peace perspective.
Right.
Because I was such a people pleaser and caring about so many things that it ended up almost killing me. Mm-hmm. And so that's why it is, like you said earlier, we started the episode with grabbing the mask first. Like I've got 2 beautiful kids that if I'm not supreme health for them, what am I actually doing?
Right. That should be your priority. And I think that's where I was able to refocus, and I got to take care of my kids.
Yeah, because if I'm not going to be healthy, like I can't do this thing for them.
Yep.
And now it's become an obsession.
It is, yeah. And like I said, I'm proud to see that obsession happen. And now it's like I've got 4 grandkids, and I want to watch them grow up now. So even a more incentive to take care of myself and do that. So it's like whatever it takes, man. I want to be here as long as I can. And have a good time doing it.
I love it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I'm got to pitch this to you because I've been talking to, sponsored by Sea Hands Coffee.
Sea Hands Coffee. Check him out at the Independence Farmers Market.
That's right. John Reeder has been chatting with me over text. I've been talking to you some over text. This Iron Revival gym, okay? Because earlier throughout the app, you guys heard he owns 3 gyms. He's got a couple Anytime Fitnesses that he's been so gracious to let me and North Star Yerba Mate, which is our tea, our energy health drink that we've come out with.
Yeah, great
It's
stuff.
out on the market now. He's allowed us to come into his gyms and do that, basically do samplings and such. But he's got a third gym, and we, as faithful members of your Anytime Fitness gym, we're wondering where you have been. So there's a new gym that Rob owns that he came out with. It's over in Erlanger, I believe,
by the airport,
and it's called Iron Revival Gym.
Mm-hmm.
The branding is sick. The logo's sick.
Thank you.
The equipment inside looks sick because I know I'm going there after this or soon here to grab some content. Tell me about this inspiration. Now that we've got through your story, the Anytime process, the franchise process, Iron Revival process. Let's talk about it.
Just a passion project. It really is. It's a passion. I mentioned I started working out when I was in high school, and at first I went to Bally's. It was a brand new Bally's. I grew up on the west side of Cincy, and I went to Bally's, and it was all neon lights and people getting dolled up to go work out. Back then gyms were a destination. Like you went and you were hanging out there for a couple hours. But I really found sanctuary in some of the older gyms with the iron and the serious people and the right mindset, not about the social. And so I was influenced very heavily with those gyms. And over the years, those gyms have kind of gone away. You don't see those gyms. And a matter of fact, a lot of your commercial gyms kind of shown those type of people that go to those gyms. They don't want those people in. That's why the dumbbells only go up to 70 pounds and that sort of thing. That's why you're just not welcome. So probably for 15 years, I felt that there was a need in the Northern Kentucky market for something like that. And I kind of put it on the back end to kind of focus on, the other gyms and to grow those. And because with that, you really help a lot of people. Like you have to be 16 years old to join our gyms. And we have up to 80 something years old. And, we help all of those people. And it's amazing to see those transformations from all those people. But it's just a time in my life that I had the opportunity to kind of make this happen and come to fruition. So it's a smaller place, more of a private kind of studio gym for people who are really serious about lifting, getting ready for bodybuilding shows, or just wanting something different than your regular commercial gyms. And John Reeder is the one that said he calls it a sanctuary because I know it's really helped him as well. And you're around like-minded people, and it's just different. It's a great vibe, man. And it's called Iron Revival because it's all about trying to revive those iron gyms and try to bring that back. That's where the name comes. Yeah, and so it's really, it's like I said, it's just a passion project. It's not something that I'm looking to get rich on by any means.
Well,
and that's what I always say. If you're looking to get rich, don't get in the gym business. Don't do that. People think it's easy and it's not. But it's just, like I said, it's a passion. It's a place where you can just go and be around like-minded people and everybody will push you and spot you and be encouraging. And it's nothing fancy. It's all iron weights.
That's kind of what I like.
Yeah.
If you've noticed through any of my stuff, I've been peeling things back to the old days.
Yep. The walls are black. We had a black wall and cinder block. And it's just a cool vibe, man. And you have to come check out and see what it's all about.
I appreciate that because I am.
Yes,
and I'll
for
tell
sure.
you, I'm going to tell you why. And I appreciate you putting that out there and telling everybody what it means and what it's for and what it does. Because you said you saw me working out yesterday. And this is all a process, guys. Like in anything with this goal setting, right? So I have specific fitness goals in mind. I have long-term goals. I have daily goals, all that stuff. I have those things in mind. When I work out personally, and probably all the gym members know when I work out too, I'm there to lock in for an hour. I went through a calorie burn where my whole goal was 1,000 calories a workout because I know I needed to trim a ton of fat. So I was going heavy on my cardio, right? Next thing you know, I have to go strength training, right? So then I go into strength training and we get Carter. And you guys, thank God, man. Literally, thank you those weeks to get me into that system.
That's awesome. Because
then I'm with Carter, right? And Carter's been working me out. And we're seeing really, really good results. But when I work out, guys, I'm a people person. I love people. That community at any time is
unmatched.
It's incredible.
Unmatched.
And it's nothing against any other gyms. I've also been to other gyms as well. But when I work out for an hour, I go super hard. I like to lock in. I'm very motivated. I have a chip on my shoulder against my own self that I have. So as I'm starting to see myself grow up these weights through some of these bells, I was texting Reader, talking to people like, hey, and telling Carter too, I think I'm ready to start taking a level up here. And that's when John had invited me out to Iron Revival too.
Yep.
And I go, all right, this is all kind of worked in that process now. So Carter's gotten me to this point where I can get this whole group session here. Now, if I want to go and hang with you guys and throw around some of these old weights and get some training on that, just that holistic form, you know
it's
what I'm
a whole
saying?
ecosystem of health and fitness.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, it is. And Carter's a great resource. I mean, I'm so proud of that kid. We talked a little bit about him beforehand, but, he joined our gym and he was like 16, 17, small little guy that kind of kept to himself. And he was just kind of hanging around one day. And my wife and I stopped in to do some stuff. And I introduced her to Carter. And Carter, they were talking, had a sidebar where I was doing some stuff. And he told her, my dream is to work here one day. And that came to fruition, right? So we started off having him sweep and mop, and that led to some office hours. And then he graduated high school and he started college into exercise science. And then we started giving him a couple clients to train here and there. And he's just grabbed the bull by the horns, and he's really blossomed, man. It's really cool to see his evolution.
That's cool.
And my entire staff, like everybody's got the story, man. And it's so cool. I'm here, telling my story because of my staff giving me that opportunity. They free me up to do the other stuff. They free me up to spend time with the family. They free me up to run the IBA, that sort of thing.
Well, it's high fives and hugs in that gym,
that's
bro.
what it's all about, man. And
It's
people are like, aren't you
sustainable.
worried about AI? I'm not worried about AI, right? You can go to YouTube and print off any workout you want or go to AI, ChatGPT, and it'll give you a workout.
It ain't the same.
Nothing substitutes
Not
the
even
high
close.
fives and hugs, man. Jim DeMiro, my manager, he's been with me for 10 years. And he came from another gym and had no training. And you see that a lot in the gym business. They don't train you. They just give you a seat and tell you to stand there and say hi, and hopefully somebody wants to join or train with you. So Jim started, and even though he'd been in the business, for a year or so, had no training on how to do it. He was a certified trainer, but had no idea what to do. And now, he kind of runs this gym for me, and he works very closely with me to continue the growth. And it's all about the people, man. And the hardest thing for him was when people come in, I was like, hey, man, you got to say hello and goodbye to everybody that comes in. And I had been in that seat for about a month or two before he started with me. So people were used to hearing my voice. They knew my name. And all of a sudden, they hear this other voice and they look and somebody else is in the office. So it was kind of a weird look. But now he's even better at it than I am. He embraces that. And he's a great ambassador of our brand and our gym.
He really is.
Tony, my main trainer there.
Tony,
he's been Jim's been with me 10 years. Carter's been with me 5. Tony's going on, I believe it's 8 years. And he came to me and he just got certified. He'd never trained anybody at all. And he started with us and we, kind of coached him up. And now, I mean, there are weeks, he'll train over 220 people in a 2-week period. It's pretty incredible to see.
Buddy, he's training all the time.
All the time. That's what he does.
I work out a lot.
Yeah.
I two a day too, some.
Yeah.
Like if I have stuff because mental health, if I've got a lot of the stuff with business things going on and I got to get up there and move through, I just do it. And it's always working people out.
Always. And like I said, he's been with me for over 8 years. And when we had to shut down for COVID, like that really affected his mental health because part of his mission in life is to help people. And when that was taken away from him for those few months during COVID, he wasn't in a good headspace either, and he works out like a maniac. He's really into the functional fitness, but him helping people is his bloodline and what gets him up in the morning every day. Yeah. And when he's not training people, he's back in the break room studying, taking additional certifications, and what can he do to add to his repertoire. But, to see him grow, like I said, he had never trained a client at all. He was fresh out of the Marines and had just recently got certified and didn't know where to start. And cool. To see him blossom to where he is now and to see how many lives he's impacted. And I'm super proud of my team, and I couldn't be happier. And I've got another great team at the Amelia location. I've got Quentin, who's been with me for 3 years. He runs that gym for me, and
I met Quentin too.
He's a great guy, man.
I got to learn a little bit of his story too.
He's very process oriented, man. Like he's gonna make it happen, right? You give him marching orders, and he'll run through a brick wall for you to make it happen. But we've got a good team there, and we bought that gym because it was on its way to close, wasn't doing very well, and the owner and I worked together many years ago at FitWorks, and he ended up getting cancer, and he passed away, and his family was trying to figure out what to do, how to run it, and he actually had like 5 locations, and they were all just failing miserably.
Oh, wow.
And I felt there was a good opportunity with this location.
Sure.
And so hired, and then I put my staff in place and started training. And we're in the process of changing the culture. But we've had it now for 1.5 years, and it's still nowhere near the culture of independence, man. Independence is just a unique experience, but it's really family. And some of my closest friends in life have come from that gym. You being one, man. Yeah.
I'm right there too.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
Happened to me. It's happening to me currently. Like it literally, the more I'm there, it is family.
It's family. There's nothing like it.
We all text each other outside the gym, and then we all hold each other accountable outside the gym, while your management team holds us accountable.
Absolutely.
I was not used to it, so it naturally makes me want to lean in more.
Yeah. And our team's fully committed to your results. You can drag a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But we have weekly meetings, and we go down the roster of who our clients are. Now, members, you can come in and just do your own workout, but we go through our roster of personal training clients. Where are they? Why haven't they been here? What can we do? What kind of progress are they making? And we celebrate those wins. It's behind closed doors. But to see Carter and Tony sometimes talk about how somebody changed their life, like your name's come up several times. We got Chris Leanders, who's just completely changed his body. It's amazing.
Oh, dude, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
his body
that dude is a beast. Completely, yes.
Dude,
yeah,
he's in there religiously.
And when he's not, I see him running down Madison Pike all the time, man.
I saw him too.
It's awesome.
I want to hang with guys like that.
Yes, they're
because
different
that's
mindset. Different mindset.
And it.
And then
what's his name again? Chris
Leanders. He's got just an amazing. So we've got so many. We've got Jerry Gorman, who was 80-something years old. He's had a couple strokes, and as soon as he recovers, he comes back. Man, he brings the cane, and he comes back, and he gets better. And
dude, Harry had a heart attack.
Harry had a heart attack, and that was just his dad died of a heart attack. And Harry is actually married to my wife's cousin, and he's the reason why I'm in Independence. He's the one that told me to check out the house where I moved to, which ended up causing us to grow roots in Independence. So had it not been for him, Anytime Fitness wouldn't have been there, right?
Yeah. He doesn't even know, but he motivated me too.
Yeah. So it's funny you say that. You've probably seen on a heart rate monitor board, Donna Moe. It's Donna Mosqueda. She's 74, 75 years old. She comes in at 3:30 in the morning. She's a mythical unicorn to a lot of people because they don't come in that early to see her, but they always see that she burns the most calories because she puts in the work. And she was Harry's motivation. Harry would tell me that he would wake up, his alarm would go off at 4:35, and he'd be like, I don't feel like going. He goes, Donna Moe's there. I got to get my ass to the gym. Never met her. So it's incredible that people are helping motivate and push other people. And they haven't even met these people.
I went at that time in the morning and saw her for the first time in my life on the treadmill up in the front.
Every morning.
That was her.
She will.
It's like anytime I can't sleep or if I'm really disturbed, I'll sneak up there and just get on Stairmaster.
She's an unsung hero. I mean,
but she's up there.
She will post pictures when in the middle of a snowstorm, and her and her husband will get there at 3:30 in the morning, and she'll post pictures on Facebook. And I'm like, Donna, you shouldn't be out driving in this. And she's at the gym.
She's got that dog in her.
She does. Yeah, God love her. Becky Russo, she's another one that she's completely transformed, and she's had back surgery and she's had some medical setbacks, but she shows up every day. And I forget the distance that she drives, but we kind of figured she probably drives farther than anybody else. And for the first several years, she had the most check-ins out of anybody else in the gym.
Yep, I need to hear all these stories so I can get more motivated. It's too fun.
It's
That's
all
awesome.
about it, man.
Good
It's
for
great.
all of you folks. Excellent work. That's a great commitment.
For sure, man.
Thanks for giving us the space.
Yeah.
Thanks for building and allowing our community to come in there and for even strengthening that with your team. It's cool, man.
It is
like I did the
cool.
Murph for the first time.
I
couldn't have,
great
5
job.
years ago I couldn't have told you I was going to even try that. You know, honestly. So it's allowed me to really free up my headspace and get healthy in return. And I didn't realize how important it was to be able to live as long as possible.
Right. Very important. And to be able to, put your own oxygen mask on first so you can help other people. And that hour you spend at the gym, you're putting that mask on.
Oh, I love it. With that said, you guys, hit like, hit subscribe. What an awesome episode. Come check out Anytime Fitness, Independence, Kentucky.
Thank you.
Or the Amelia location in Ohio, or Iron Revival Gym in Erlanger, which I'm going to be going to check out with Seahands Coffee's John Reeder as well.
Awesome.
So maybe we'll snag some content doing that too. What do you
Sounds
say?
good. Thanks, Seahands Coffee.
Oh, no. Thank you for your story, dude.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you for
work
having me
ethic.
on.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm gonna lean in towards you, buddy, because
Please do. Yeah.
I'm working on some things and trying to do stuff myself with some goals, and overall, it's just to help people. But I appreciate the
Iron sharpens iron, man, for sure.
That's it, bro.
Yep.
All right, we're out.
Thank you.
See you guys.
So guys, you should like and subscribe and like hit that
Okay,
I can't get it.
okay.
I'm not used to this.
Hey guys, subscribe to my dad's video and just like the bell.
Hit that like and subscribe button, hit that bell.
And stay tuned. Love y'all.
100%. Love y'all. We're out.
I love that.